In our previous video, we journeyed deep into the unsettling prophecies surrounding the Antichrist, exploring the cryptic messages left behind by biblical seers like Daniel, John, and Paul. We learned about the disturbing figure who would arise, a man of lawlessness, the ultimate deceiver. But in our last episode, we left off just as he began his ascent. Now, if you missed last week's episode, go back and watch it again. Then join us now as we continue our journey into the depths of this chilling prophecy, learning about his rise to power, the emergence of his false prophet, and the meaning behind the enigmatic mark of the beast. Let's continue. The rise of global power. Daniel's prophecy paints a future filled with wars, rumors of wars, a disruption of established powers, and a change of governments. During these turbulent times, a master strategist known as the beast will emerge. According to verse 25, this figure will confirm a covenant with many for 1,260 days. At first glance, it might seem like a mere diplomatic agreement. However, when viewed through the lens of Scripture, especially Daniel chapter 7, verses 8, 24, 25, it takes on a darker hue. Imagine a world tired of conflicts, a world ready to surrender its freedom at the altar of peace. This potential treaty, though seemingly a blessing, could be a trap, luring the unsuspecting populace into a false sense of security. It's like a quiet before the storm, a momentary lull that only serves to amplify the impending chaos. Verse 25 further warns of a sudden and unexpected end to this apparent tranquility. As the words, "then the Antichrist," reverberate in our ears, we're reminded that this fragile peace won't last. There's a twist around the corner, a betrayal waiting to unfold. According to verse 25, the Antichrist will engage in acts of aggression against three groups, the most prominent ones being the people of the Most High God, the saints, and the nation of Israel. These targets aren't random. Each represents a direct threat to the Antichrist's ultimate goal, the usurpation of divine authority. The people of the Most High God symbolize unwavering faith. The saints represent holiness and righteousness, and Israel embodies God's chosen heritage. By targeting these groups, the Antichrist aims to establish his dominance, to send a clear message. God's people, turn away from your faith or face the consequences. Revelation chapter 13, verse 1 adds more fuel to the fire. It states that the beast will emerge from the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads. Each head is adorned with a diadem. The fact that the beast comes from the sea suggests a rising from chaos and turmoil. It symbolizes how this future ruler will ascend amid instability and conflict. The 10 horns likely represent various kingdoms or political entities that will unite under his banner, while the 7 heads could symbolize both worldly and spiritual authority. This imagery reinforces the idea that the Antichrist won't just be a political or religious figure. He will be a formidable force, drawing strength from both earthly and spiritual realms. How will he do it? Before the Antichrist makes his grand entrance, the world will witness the appearance of another ominous character, the false prophet. He'll emerge as a charismatic leader with a silver tongue and a portfolio of impressive miracles. His agenda, however, is far from altruistic. Revelation 13 verse 14 says he'll perform great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven. In essence, he will serve as the Antichrist's hype man, bolstering the beast's image, supporting his agenda, and most importantly, diverting people away from the true God. To understand the scope of the false prophet's influence, let's look at the book of Deuteronomy, chapters 18, verses 9 to 12. Here, Moses warns the children of Israel against falling for the ways of other nations, specifically against those who practice divination, sorcery, occultism, and witchcraft. The punishment for such acts was severe. The offender wasn't just to be expelled from the community, but in some cases put to death. These verses are not merely a part of ancient law. They are a timeless reminder of the tactics the enemy uses. The false prophet will exploit fear, greed, and desperation, disguising his evil intentions with acts of wonder and promises of prosperity. He will act as the middleman, channeling adoration for the Antichrist and setting the stage for the beast's takeover. As the false prophet captivates the masses with his wonders, the Antichrist will work in the shadows, laying the groundwork for his own emergence. Together, they will form a formidable duo, the perfect blend of miracles and charisma that will overshadow the truth. The mark of the beast. Now let's dive into one of the most talked about symbols in the book of Revelation, the mark of the beast. In Revelation 13 verse 16, it states that the beast compels everyone, both big and small, rich and poor, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. This mark is not just a brand. It's a symbol of loyalty, a badge that identifies who belongs and who doesn't. However, receiving this mark comes with a catch. Revelation 13 verse 17 goes on to say that no one can buy or sell unless they have the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. This statement introduces a practical consequence. It's a reminder that in the world of the Antichrist, choices have repercussions. The mark becomes a tool of control, a way to ensure compliance and obedience to the beast's regime. But what exactly is the mark? Is it a physical tattoo, a digital scan, or something else entirely? That's a question that has sparked countless debates among scholars over the years. While interpretations vary, one thing remains constant. The mark is not just a symbol. It is an allegiance. It signifies a choice made, a loyalty pledged, and a stand taken. It's a declaration that could literally mean the difference between life and death. In the context of the Antichrist's rise, the mark represents a shift, a tipping point where the world moves from relative peace into a phase of strict control and surveillance. It's during this period that the true colors of the Antichrist will become evident, revealing the deceptive leader lurking beneath the surface. The Great Deception. In the ever-evolving narrative of Revelation, the Antichrist's reign of terror isn't solely about political dominance or economic control. It delves deeper into the realm of human spirituality, creating a grand illusion designed to deceive even the elect. As we move towards the midpoint of the tribulation period, a critical event occurs. The Antichrist breaks away from the covenant, exposing his true colors and abandoning the peace he once championed. This breach of trust shatters the illusion, revealing the monster lurking beneath the cloak of civility. However, the Antichrist isn't content with just breaking the covenant. He takes things a step further by desolating the holy place. This act, symbolic of religious desecration, is meant to provoke and enrage God's people. It's a direct challenge to everything held sacred, a declaration of war against the very foundations of faith. At this point, the true nature of the Antichrist becomes glaringly obvious. He is no longer a figurehead cloaked in diplomacy. He is a tyrant revealed. Yet despite this clarity, the Bible warns that many will still fall prey to his charm. They will rally behind him, drawn to his charismatic leadership and promises of swift action and retribution. The Antichrist's hold over these followers is absolute. He demands their complete submission, their absolute obedience. And they must abide by one ultimate command: worship him. This demand is not a mere suggestion. It's a non-negotiable ultimatum, a test of loyalty with dire consequences for noncompliance. The Great Tribulation. Now we enter the most intense phase of the Antichrist's reign, a period often referred to as the Great Tribulation. This phase marks the halfway point of the 7-year covenant, a time when the facade crumbles and the true face of evil is unveiled. During this period, the wrath of God is poured out, shaking the very foundations of the world. Earthquakes, famines, plagues, and wars become commonplace. It's a period of unprecedented chaos and suffering, a testament to the destructive capabilities of the Antichrist. As the world grapples with these calamities, the Antichrist tightens his grip on power. He revels in the fear and uncertainty, using every disaster as a stepping stone to greater control. He positions himself as the solution to these problems, the only one who can bring order to the chaos, further cementing his hold over an already terrified population. During this time, the Bible speaks of the seals, trumpets, and bowls of God's wrath being poured out. Each of these elements symbolizes another layer of judgment, each one more intense than the last. These judgments are not arbitrary. They target the wicked, exposing the cruelty and folly of the Antichrist's regime. Yet amidst this chaos, the true followers of Christ find themselves in a unique position. They become the focus of the Antichrist's wrath, targeted for their unwavering faith and refusal to compromise. Persecution becomes widespread, forcing believers to choose between renouncing their faith or enduring unimaginable suffering. The final battle as the reign of the Antichrist reaches its crescendo, the final showdown approaches, the Battle of Armageddon. This battle is not just a physical conflict. It's a clash between good and evil, between light and darkness, between truth and deception. On one side stands the forces of the Antichrist, bolstered by his devoted followers and empowered by the false prophet's miracles. On the other side is the army of heaven, led by the archangel Michael and his heavenly host. When the battle commences, there is no room for doubt or suspense. The forces of heaven are too powerful to be contained. They move with precision and might, crushing the opposition with ease. The downfall of the Antichrist and the false prophet is swift and decisive. They are captured alive and cast into the lake of fire, a punishment reserved for the greatest of sinners. Satan himself, the mastermind behind the entire plot, is not spared. He is bound, unable to deceive or tempt for 1,000 years. The victory at Armageddon is not just a moment of triumph. It's a turning point for humanity. It marks the end of deception, the lifting of fear, and the restoration of peace. With the threat of the Antichrist gone, Christ returns to earth to usher in a new era of peace and righteousness. His return not only ends the reign of terror, it also ushers in a period of healing and restoration. The wounds of war begin to mend, the scars of persecution start to fade, and the world begins to heal. The return of the true Christ in the aftermath of Armageddon, the earth experiences a profound transformation. Gone is the shadow of the Antichrist, replaced by the glorious light of Christ's return. This moment, often referred to as the Second Coming, is not just a religious event. It's a global phenomenon that touches every aspect of human existence. As Christ steps onto the world stage once again, he brings with him a message of peace and salvation. The old world of fear and deception fades into memory, replaced by a future filled with hope and renewal. So remember this, friends. The Antichrist may loom large in our future, but his reign is destined to end in defeat. Christ, the true King, will return. His victory is assured, and with him, we will rise to claim our share of that triumph. Until next time, stay blessed. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel right now so you would be the first to receive the notification of our next video. And please, comment your thoughts on this video. Like and share this video those who may like contents like this.